This is Don DeBartolo, a senior commodities broker and market strategist with Daniels Trading in Chicago. I'm also the trader behind the Trade Spotlight advisory service. Trade Spotlight is broken into three segments: Trade Spotlight futures, commodity options, and future spreads. This is Beyond the Spotlight, a video that will spotlight 2 or 3 markets that may become trading opportunities for this week. This week beginning with Monday, October 12th, 2020. Please pause the video and read the disclosures to understand the risks involved with futures and commodity options trading. Okay, jumping right into our first chart. This is the December 2020 RBOB, or unleaded gasoline. This chart's very similar to the crude oil contract, which we have a position on using option contracts, put options in crude oil. RBOB keeps testing this upper resistance level. You can see just in the past couple weeks here, it's made a lower high around the 1200 price level, but it's this area in here is acting as strong resistance. So we're looking for an opportunity to get short the RBOB market. Perhaps it's a break of this lower trend line that gives us the most confidence. We've got at least 2 touches, well, 2 in a bunch right here. Perhaps this is a third as well. So we've got multiple touches on this trend line. So a close below that trend line triggers a short entry opportunity. You can see that the 20-day moving average has crossed over a 50-day to the upside. It's actually bullish, but you've got your 200-day moving average pointed down here. The MACD indicator, this is a trend indicator, looks to be turning over, but it's been relatively flat going back to June, and that makes sense looking at the trade action here. We've been trading between these two price levels for the better part of the summer and into the fall here. Also, you have very strong momentum to the downside. This is the stochastic indicator. So to me, it looks like the trend is shifting down with some building momentum. Just want an opportunity to sell it where there's strong confirmation. Again, whether that's a close below this trend line or another formation that sets up. But I want to keep the December 2020 RBOB market on the radar. Okay, moving along to the next chart. This is January 2021 soybeans. And in this market, I have the beginnings of a head and shoulders formation. So the left shoulder was made after this rally in the summer, mostly on fundamental news. You can see the trend was up and the momentum was up, but then it leveled off here as we got into the fall, but the market continued to climb. So it was based mostly on fundamental information. Market traded up to form that high at 10.15 a quarter on September 18th. A bit of a sell-off back to this support level near 990. And then recently another rally creating a 12-month contract high that came in off that crop report on Friday. It was the 9th of October. That high was 1077 even. And then we have a sell-off today, basically taking away those gains from Friday. If you're following Trade Spotlight, I did put out a future spread trade ahead of that crop report. Looked to get short the beans. Got into that spread before, and then during the report got stopped out in the volatility. And then, of course, the market sold off and finished lower. I just didn't want to have a trade out there without a stop loss. Just have to protect capital. But I still like the beans to the downside. So now shifting to the futures side of it and look for an opportunity to get short. I believe the market is going to trade back down to this 990, 1,000 level. So perhaps take a quick short entry opportunity. To play it a little more conservative, would like to see it close below this trend line, but then you only have about 30 cents to the target level. This trend line has just 2 points on it, so perhaps we can get a trade down to this trend line, a bounce, and then that sets up a great selling opportunity. Again, to about the 990 price level. Then from there, looking for a buying opportunity back up to about 1040, 1050, where the formation can be complete with the right shoulder in place. Then what you have is a trend reversal formation, and then I'd be looking for beans to trade back down into the $9 price range, where the 200-day moving average is, where all these recent lows is, going back to the middle of the summer. So keep an eye on the January 2021 soybeans. Potential short, long, short again in this market coming up. Third chart I want to take a look at today is December 2020 live cattle. This market is trading along a lower trend line, but also there is strong resistance up above. I'm looking for a close below this trend line and a couple of these moving averages. There's a 20-day moving average at 111.77, a 50-day moving average at 111.20. 0.3. So looking for a close below these levels to go short the live cattle contract. If you're following Trade Spotlight, I believe about a week and a half ago we sold the feeder cattle and got stopped out. And of course that market is lower. I think the cattle is going to follow right along. Right now the trend is flat. Makes sense. We've got a sideways moving market here. The momentum is kind of dry right now, but it looks like it's turning over and potentially hooking to the downside. So if I can get close below that lower trend line, momentum is down, we're going to sell the contract using above this level as a potential stop loss. That highest high comes in at 114.02 half from August 19th. More recently, the highest high is 113.55. So above either of those levels to place that sell stop. Downside target, the first target is going to be this low down here. There's a support level that comes in about 107.25 from September 2nd. That's that low right there. So that's a potential first target. After that, we can look to the 102 level, 103 level as another downside target if it has strong momentum. We'll just trail the stop loss down from there. If this area looks like it's going to be broken, cancel that target and let the market run and trail a stop. Quick look at what the Trade Spotlight Advisory Service looks like. It's an email service directly into your inbox. You'll get a write-up of the trade, precise entry orders and exit orders, so you know the risk-reward parameters for each trade, any print information like margin requirements or option expiration dates, and a chart that you can click to enlarge. If you're not following Trade Spotlight, I encourage you to do so. You can go to the Daniels Trading webpage, click on Advisories, and then under Technical Analysis, you'll find Trade Spotlight. You can read more about it, review recent posts, and subscribe. It's a free service to clients of mine and the firm. Otherwise, I provide a 90-day free trial offer, and then there's a subscription cost after that quarterly. Here's all my contact information if you have any questions about the 3 markets covered in this video or a couple of the other positions that I touched on with the Trade Spotlight Advisory or some of the other positions that we're in. Here's all my numbers and email address. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and happy trading.